Welcome to another Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We're going to get started in just a second here. But first, coffee. Guatemalan. Let's get going here. Every now and then there is a little Twitter spat. Yesterday there was a Twitter spat, and I'll tell you about it. And it was with the followers of IM, who is known as Illimitable Man, the guy that always says, tell your son this. And I think that's pseudo-noble. I think it sounds like bullshit. And from a man who doesn't have children to say, tell your son this. The only word I can think of it, especially if you use a Machiavelli avatar, it's pseudo-noble. It sounds right, but it's not right. I've said this to men, coached men. Watch what she does, not what she says. What a woman does speaks louder than what she says, and many times they are incongruent. What you're looking for is congruency. Same thing with children. And when I say kids, I mean from a young age all the way up to being young adults. They watch your actions more than they listen to your words. And that was, I ended up getting into a Twitter spat with probably 100 people, followers of this anonymous tool. I'm putting my face out there. I don't need fake anonymous avatars. I don't need to hide behind a blog. So as far as Illimitable Man is concerned, okay, let's just set the record straight with that. I was okay with him for a while. And then the alcoholic bullshit got to be a little bit too much. So these red-eyed tools, and most of them are anonymous tools as well, that go on the attack, I have no use for. And that leads me to my first tweet of the day. Tell your grandson this. It's probably more accurate. Boys watch their father, but they listen to their grandfather. And if they don't have a grandfather, they seek out a grandfather figure, or someone who seems like they could be a grandfather figure. That is a fact. I have a theory. World War II killed off or removed most of Europe's masculine, manly men. Is it a globalist scheme? The men were different after that generation, after World War II, and I would even say World War I. So my conspiracy friends, help me out with this. Is this happening in America? Is there a globalist plot to remove masculine men, not through war this time, but through legislation, through hate, legislating hate crimes, like masculinity is now, you're seeing articles like in Time magazine and various places, like formerly respectable places where like masculinity is on the same level as terrorism. Like, what the actual fuck is going on here? Okay? Everything has soy in it. Men are getting man boobs. Boy, you can't tell a young boy from a young girl anymore. There's all this weird gender stuff happening. What is going on? Masculine, and I'm not talking about even macho idiots. I'm talking about just masculine men are considered toxic. What's happening? Is there a plot to soften men, therefore remove them from society? Some people say it's the cycles that civilizations go in. I can't buy that one. Can't. Put your comments down below. So many fathering experts on Twitter. Regarding women, we teach believe what she does more than what she says. But how is it different for fathers and sons? Show your son this. He's not going to listen to you. I will tell my cat this. You don't need to be fatherless and raised by a single mom to appreciate father figure-ish men. I'm twice the age of my colleagues who talk about leadership, parenting, marriage, etc., and I still get inspired by them. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. It's only in the past year that I heard about the carnivore diet. A lot of young guys doing it. Intermittent fasting. A lot of guys doing it. I adopted some of the principles, not all of it, and guess what? It worked. I listened to people half my age. So as much as the wisdom flows up, it needs to flow down as well. I think here's my theory. Sometimes I will say if something's an absolute truth, other times I will say if it's just a theory or I'm speculating. I believe young men have knowledge, older men have wisdom. But you need both. You need both. It's like I said, I'm amazed at the amount of 25-year-old men that want to kick my ass on Twitter. I'd rather put it this way. I would rather whoop your mind than whoop your ass. How's that sound? You want to beat up a 60-year-old guy? Wow. Accomplishment. I'm going to say it because nobody else will. Most fatherly direction comes from father-like figures and not fathers. My subscribers listen to me more than my own sons do. The key is to have a community of masculine dragon energy men that the father is part of and that the sons observe. If you're an older guy and you have loser friends, your kids are watching that. They're watching their dad hang out with losers and drink and do stupid things. Who you hang out with and who you associate with, who you socialize with, for an older guy, who you invite over the house, whose jokes you laugh at, is making a huge impact on your children, no matter what age your children are. I'm looking for some dumbbells. A dumbbell set. 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm not looking to throw heavy killer iron around. And in my search, I saw 100-pound plates. Now, I've seen the 45-pound plates that you put on the Olympic bar at the gym. You know, you slide them on. But there were 100-pound plates. If 100-pound plates could talk, they would say, "I'm Rick James, bitch!" I'm not telling my sons anything. Sons figure out shit on their own. If you're a father, you know it, and I know it. It should be live it, and maybe your son will see it and emulate it. Tell your sons this. Sounds noble, but it's bullshit. I want to hear from Gavin's mouth why he and that network parted ways. I'm not sure what happened with Gavin McInnes, but I want to hear it in his words. What happened? I want to hear it. Unless there is a life-altering epiphany, a 25-year-old asshole in 50 years just becomes a 75-year-old asshole. Age does not make one wise unless that one seeks wisdom. There is a difference between 10 years experience and 1 year of experience 10 times. I know a lot of grown-ups who aren't grown up. Retweet this 1,000 times. This is what I found. I never met one hater that is doing better than the person they are hating on. Loving my father wasn't really about forgiveness and my faith. The decision to do so came after I became a father 3 times myself, and I realized that I was still winging it when it came to parenting. So it's when you point at someone, you know the old, if you point at someone, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you. I think it's that principle. I used to say I was an expert at parenting until I had kids. I was an expert at marriage until I got married. I could easily do 25 pull-ups. Easily. If I weighed 90 pounds. That's the issue. Does anyone here in the Delaware Valley have or know of any farmers or anyone with land? Because I want to fill my freezer with venison and rabbit. There's a guy on YouTube I was directed to, and I was watching some of his stuff, and I know he's serious, but I was like laughing. And the channel is called Alpha Male Strategies. And I quote him, "You a freak? Well, she a super freak. They all sluts." I'm watching this guy, and I was laughing the whole time. Just look him up, Alpha Male Strategies. And will you learn anything? You could, absolutely, absolutely. But if you're like me, you're going to be laughing so hard when you watch this guy. All house guests are like fish. They go bad after 2 days. And finally, I love you. And I know this is a repeat. I love you, but how about just 2 days a week? Things are good. It's Monday here. And it's a great day with the Sultan. And I hope you have a great day. Couple more weeks left till 2019. What you doing? Write the list. Write the to-do list. 2019 is the year you get unstuck. What areas will you get unstuck in? The way you look, the way you sound, the way you present yourself, the money you make, what you put in your head, what you put in your body? Get on it. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.